Change is the most critical thing that everyone can do. Change is the most important thing that everyone should focus on. Changing is the key ingredient that will help you get to the next step. If you don't change, no one is going to help you change. And the reason why changing takes time is because you have to see it within yourself what needs to be changed. You have to see it within yourself what can be improved. And when you get around others that's seeing what can be better, what can be improved, and how this journey cannot feel lonely, your change starts to grow at a rapid pace because you're rapidly changing, you're rapidly learning, you're rapidly evolving. Changing takes time because every day you're changing, every day you're evolving, every day you're developing. Because when you start to develop with change, you have to really ask yourself, how long can I change? How long can I work this change? How long can I develop? You have to ask yourself that, because if it's just one day, the change that you're trying to implement is not going to do anything. If it's just, if it's just a week, the change that you're learning more about is not going to really do anything because it's only a week. Whereas if you really focus on the change that you are doing and developing within a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, etc., you will eventually change with time as time is constantly moving. And see, when you do that, you identify the change, identify the problem, identify what you are changing and the reason behind it. Once you identify the reason, now you start doing the work to discover the answers that you are looking for. There's a saying that says, when the student is ready, the master appears. Because the student has to be open to the information that they are going to receive, because if they're not open to the information that they are going to receive, the master or the educator or the teacher can appear to be wasting his or her time. When the student is ready, the master will appear, because the master has some type of experience. The master has some type of education. The master has knowledge that the student does not. And when you recognize that, you have to be consistent with change. Every day, there's change happening all around us. Every day, we cannot control the change. We can't stop the change. And how can we get involved with the change? Well, you can start getting included with the change by understanding that you have to be consistent with evolving. You have to be consistent with learning, and you have to be consistent with developing yourself over time, because it doesn't happen overnight. In fact, it happened many nights. And just because it happened many nights, for you to really develop and change for yourself, you have to give yourself permission to really go through the process and understand that the journey that you're going down is your path, is your process, is your learning time, because it will help you be comfortable with change. And if you got value from this and really enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe, and let me know in the comments your biggest challenge when it comes to changing, and one thing is going to stop you from evolving within yourself. Let me know in the comments. I would love to read it. I love to engage with the conversation. Let me know. And in closing, change takes time. So you have to give yourself time to develop. And as you're giving yourself time, really be okay with what's going to come, because you don't even know what's on the other side of the door until you step into it. And when you start to step into the door, start to step into your change, start to step into your dreams, things are going to appear cloudy because there's things that you have to discover for yourself. So be okay with change, because change happens with or without you. But let it happen with you rather than against you, so you can discover more about yourself. So let me know in the comments what's the biggest issue when it comes to changing. Let me know, and I love to read it, love to engage with it. And if you haven't, make sure you stay to the end and watch this video right here to develop more for yourself, because we empower and inspire every podcaster to not only launch their podcast, but to start sharing their stories. Thank you.